Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena. We're back once again with our Jeskai Squee's Invocation list. So without further ado, let's get into the games, and I'll see you all there. Okay, we're in, and we do have the turn 2 treasure map, and we can eventually ramp or even find the land for the Deafening Clarion. I'm not blown away by these double Nexus Fates, or maybe even this Negate. It's a tough one. We are on the draw though, so I think I can keep this, though it's a bit rough. It is a bit of a rough hand. Typically what you want to do with this hand is not take anything that doesn't allow you to ramp, so, oh my god. Oh boy, if they Thought Erasure my treasure map, this game is over. That is rough. So here comes the Thought Erasure. Yeah, that's probably game. There goes treasure map. We're not really doing anything anymore now, so we're going to have to get some really lucky top decks, and Cleansing Nova's not one of them. We're just drawing all of our top end. If I'd have known we were up against Demir, I would have never in a million years taken this hand. But, I mean, they can't go land Disinformation Campaign at least, because we do have the Negate open. Now we'll be happy to do it. Yeah, I think they know it. Oh, at least we're hitting lands. At least we're hitting lands. That's all I can say about this hand. It's going to be a rough one. I mean, Deafening Clarion, unless they're running Thief of Sanity, is not going to do anything. It does hit Dream Eater, though, doesn't it? It's a 4-3. So, we kind of got that going for us. And we hit a Pirate's Pillage. It's fine if we hit a land next turn. We have plenty of discard fodder anyway. Nightveil Predator. Okay. Wincon down. Well, at least Deafening Clarion actually does something. So, I'm going to Pirate's Pillage and I'm going to discard Nexus of Fate. Shuffle it back into our deck and then probably... That's probably the same one. We've just redrawn it. Good stuff. Alright. Well, let's put you over here. Let's see if they have the Thought Erasure or something like that. I'm just going to hit us with the Predator. That's fair enough. Second Clarion. Well, we do have Nexus of Fate online, but I think what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to Clarion away this Wincon. We can negate a counter spell here, which I think is fine. We've got nothing to lose if my opponent makes me discard. I mean, alternatively, I could have held my negate just to use the second Clarion. There's also an argument for that. The way that he fought over it, though, suggests to me that that is his only spell. His only creature. And it looks like it is indeed. And there's Squee. Alright, so Squee coming down. Squee is one of the better creatures against the control matchup, because he just will not die. So there's Dream Eater. Alright, well, we have a Clarion. I'm glad I didn't second Clarion at the very least, because now I would have had to Cleansing Nova, which I think I want to save for a little while. Might need it for like an Eldest Reborn or something like that. So Dream Eater, bouncing Squee. I would have personally bounced a token, just because Squee is guaranteed to come back no matter what. It's not as if you need to protect your life total after all, is it? Okay, so do I Clarion now? The problem is that he eats a token, and he could also just Eldest Reborn his Dream Eater back, and then we'd have to Cleansing Nova it, which wouldn't eat into a token, so I guess I will do this. It doesn't matter what this is. It's down to 2 cards. I mean, we're mostly just going to be chaining Nexuses soon enough. If, like, any card is really a good top deck for us. Thought Erasure, yeah. Probably taking Cleansing Nova. Unless he just really doesn't want us to have 3 extra draw steps. That's all this is at this stage. Yeah, takes a Nexus of Fate. Sure. We actually want Nexuses in our deck as well, because when we cast Nexus off of Sunbird's Invocation, it increases the odds that we're actually just going to Nexus into Nexus. Oh, and treasure map there is golden. Alright. I'm going to keep Squee in hand as discard fodder for Disinformation Campaign. I'm not really interested in attacking with it right now, and it would stop me from having to use a treasure to scry on my opponent's end step here. Mission briefing. So they have Thought Erasure. Yeah. There's nothing they take here that I care about. I think they know about everything in this hand as well, so I guess like Nova is the worst card they could take here, but yeah. So then I can't respond to something like an Eldest Reborn or a creature. Shouldn't have done that right there. Should have waited for end step. I got ahead of myself, but yep, land is good. Land gets us towards Nexus of Fate. So draw for the turn. Go to our main. Tap land, Sacred Foundry, play Squee. And then we have a flip treasure map next turn. They can do whatever they want to Squee here. He can take it. He is my immortal son. You might say, in total, we have 3 immortal sons in our deck. Alright, so we sack a creature. Cool. That's a Dream Eater, most likely. Steam Vents. Yes. Yeah, I'll take Steam Vents. So what I can do is I can go to my main. Flip treasure map, bottom that. And we'll just start chaining some extra turns together. So use 1 treasure for an extra turn. Pass the turn. Got a Deafening Clarion. Let's draw for the turn. Glacial Fortress into Nexus of Fate. Let's get those all back into our deck. Hit an island, which is good discard fodder for the Eldest Reborn. There's another Nexus of Fate. Okay. Don't think I want to... Yeah, I just want to discard this island, given the chance. Well, now I have a Sacred Foundry. Just dig through our deck a little bit, make sure that we have some advantage here. And tap Sacred Foundry, play Squee. And that's the best we can do, really. There's a reasonable sequence. Let's drop the island. Dream Eater's not like the scariest thing in the world. We now have the Star of Extinction and Deafening Clarion to take care of it. Same goes for that Night Veil Predator. Another Eldest Reborn. Okay. So sack Squee. Opponents save themselves 2 life. There's a Lava Coil for Dream Eater. Okay, so play Squee. So they cannot possibly save all of their creatures here. There's Dream Eater to bounce the Squee. I think Dream Eater would be a little bit more powerful if it could bounce a permanent that player controls as well, because they could actually just replay Eldest Reborn, which would be cool. But it's not an option. Just get the Surveils. Okay, so bounces the Squee. We will discard Squee. And there's a Night Veil Predator. Okay, so what I want to do is, I want to go for something... Ooh, Sunbird's Invocation. I want to go for something like Lava Coil here, because it is the counterable one. I could go for Deafening Clarion. He gets to pick whichever one he wants. What is the order here? How much mana have I got left over after that? 4, 5, 6. I've got 4 mana left after the Invocation. I have to worry about Sinister Sabotage over there, though. So I think what I want to do is go Clarion. If they let this go, it's whatever. If they don't, then I'll Lava Coil Dream Eater. Good stuff. Actually, no, I might take the hit, actually, because if I let this go, he's going to lose stuff anyway. And we have the Star of Extinction to kill afterwards. She's almost certainly going to get chain into some stuff. If he doesn't kill me here, then Just get this down. He needs another Dream Eater to bounce the Invocation. You can take my Squee, but you can never take our freedom. Yeah, we take 7 here. We can bait a counter with Lava Coil. Oh, well. No, we can't. Goodbye, Lava Coil. If he has another discard spell, we're in trouble. Oh my god. Well. Can't really play around cool run-ins like that. That is absurd. So what we need now is a Star of Extinction or a Nexus of Fate, and we probably just win. But if we don't, we probably just lose. Hey, there we go. Alright. No Disdainful Stroke for you, please. Star of Extinction, you blue source. We hit a Nexus of Fate, so we wipe the board, and we take an extra turn. Yep. And we also get our Squee back in the same turn, which is cool. Which allows us to look at the top 3 cards. Actually, no, because this doesn't come from hand. Should be mentioned. Hey, Nexus. Pretty good. Alright. Extra turn. We want to hit... Sunbird's Invocation is probably the card. Extra turn. And swing with Squee. And we whiff on a land here. We are just another 7 mana spell off of victory, though. Search for Azcanta. Because it doesn't even matter if he counters them at this stage, because we have these invocations in play. That doesn't matter, that just means that I can play whatever I want without fear. And there's a Nexus of Fate. Okay, so that's game. Opponent really, really got close to having us there, but just whiffed on the last bit. Hopefully we don't whiff. Hit a Cleansing Nova and a Star of Extinction. We don't want any of those. Yeah, decline. We got our extra turn anyway. And another hit in with Squee. Sunbirds should be able to hit some good stuff. So we can't play Pirate's Pillage because we have no card in hand. It's one of the downsides. We whiff there as well. Wow. And an expansion. We can't pay its mana cost, so we've actually whiffed. Wow. Okay. That's a new one. That's a first for me. So they got 12 cards, so they get to flip Azcanta here. We're not out of the woods yet. I really didn't think there was any chance of us whiffing there. With 4 Sunbird's Invocations. But who'd have thunk it? There's a Discovery Dispersal. That can bounce and discard one of our invocations. Lava Coil. Lava Coil can hit a treasure map, so I'm going to hit my own Squee post-combat. It goes 8 cards deep. Vraska's Contempt. Alright. Well, play Squee. Lava Coil our Squee. Start digging for treasure maps. There's one. Just allows us to set up the top card of our deck. There's another. The deck's getting really thin now. We've got 30 cards in it, which is thin for this deck. Nexus. Replay Squee. And then we got 2 end step and upkeep scries, so we shouldn't be able to whiff, really. But we have already whiffed substantially at this point. Goes for an Azcanta. The Panic Dig. The Panic Dig. A Ritual of Soot. Okay, does nothing. Can play it if he wants, but that pretty much guarantees that he loses. Going for the Discovery. Personally, I would have gone for the Dispersal. But I guess with 4 Sunbirds out, even having 3 is pretty disgusting. Bounces Campaign. Is this going to be the tap out? Because that's going to be the GG, most likely. Okay. End step, treasure map. There's a Nexus, so we win. Might as well just get my extra point here. Goes for the Moment of Craving, sure. Yeah, unless they can shuffle our deck, he loses right now. 4 Sunbird's Invocations with a Nexus of Fate in play is just impossible to fizzle. So, go 7 cards deep 4 times. We whiff. We hit a Star of Extinction, technically. So I actually could cast that hitting your Canter. It's worth casting, I suppose. We'll do the Scries here. It's Pirate's Pillage. We don't want that. Oh, he's had enough. Alright. I think he realizes the game's over. Okay, against blue-black discard, we want negates, we want sabotages. Clarions were actually reasonable there, so I'm not interested in cutting them. Though I might cut one maybe for a Justice Strike. We definitely want those over Shivan Fires. I like Lava Coil as well, it hits everything, for the most part. Disdainful Stroke hits Eldest Reborns, Doom Whisperers, and Dream Eaters. So it's also worth coming in. I guess we're just going like full control at this point. Let's go down. Let's see. Pirate's Pillage is a weird one because it has to discard as an additional cost. This is pretty odd. I guess we'll go down the Expansion Explosions because we have Squee. We'll just win with that anyway. It's hard for Dimir to take care of it. And I guess it might just be Deafening Clarion. With this much single-targeted removal and counter spells, I have a hard time seeing Clarion needing to be cast. And 3 more cards. I guess Lava Coil's just acceptable. It's just that this hits a Doom Whisperer, is what I'm thinking. I guess we'll go down 1 Lava Coil. 1 negate. There I have a fair few creatures. And maybe this Disdainful Stroke. Let's not go too heavy on control, I suppose. Dilute our deck a little bit too much. Yeah, let's try it like that. I'm not sure. This one's a hard one to sideboard against. You also got to assume that nothing ever stays in your hand anyway, so whatever I put in my deck might not even be used during the game. We have a negate on turn 2 or the treasure map, most likely the negate. And our opponent will Thought Erasure as what will they take when they do? Well, we have some unknown cards first. 1 unknown card first, but they'll probably take the treasure map. We'll see. I think we'll take this hand though. We can come back from hand disruption. Star of Extinction. Okay. Yeah, if you're against Dimir discard, the first thing you should do when you look for an opening hand is make sure that if 1 card leaves your hand, that your hand still does something. So my opponent can take treasure map if they want, but we have treasure generators and card draw here, so effectively takes care of the treasure map, and we also have a negate here to defend ourselves from something like a disinformation campaign. Okay, so just play the land, pass the turn. So if he goes for the Thought Erasure, we probably will negate anyway, because he's probably going to take it regardless. Yep. And Disinformation Campaign's not terrible since we have so many lands in hand. So, Mountain go. Next turn we can Pirate's Pillage, discarding, I don't know, probably maybe Star Extinction at this point, I'm not sure. I imagine we're getting campaigned here. Double black? Oh, Discovery, okay. Opponent not going to have the ability to counter our Pirate's Pillage. Sacred Foundry, eh? Alright. Let's just discard. It's probably just Sacred Foundry, honestly. I don't really need shock lands at this point. I've got the basics to make my check lands come into play untapped. Spell Pierce? Ouch! Not expect a Spell Pierce. Yeah, well, we might actually just lose. Okay, good stuff. Let's discard the Lava Coil. I think land drops are more important. Well, Sulphur Falls it is. Let's see. No Surveilling. Okay. And tap land go. I think they're just waiting for us to go Sunbird's Invocation. but we're never going to Sunbirds without a counterspell open, so... Alright, they can take our last playable card and bounce Disinformation Campaign, forcing us to discard this mountain. I think this game's over. It's really rough being on the draw against this deck, because they get that Thought Erasure off really early. If we'd have managed to be on the play and our opponent had that Thought Erasure, we could have negated it to save our treasure map, which would have increased the quality of our draws. But as it stands, it's a little difficult to do that. Opponent got 4 cards in hand, we have nothing. They also have the ability to draw additional cards with Memorial here as well. So yeah, that never resolves, and I think that's game. We have to try go for it, because if I don't go for it, they draw additional cards, which is more counter spells. They'll just take it from our hand anyway, because any kind of surveil will allow the campaign to do its job. So, have to go for this. If they let it go, it's because they've got a Dream Eater. There's really no debate on this one. Yeah, they've got a Dream Eater. There it is. And a Surveil into the campaign, discards the Invocation. I'm going to scoop this one up. Yeah, this one's a rough one. I think it goes without saying, though, that any combo deck going against a deck full of hand disruption is not really going to have a good time. Which is why we're kind of going to a control mode at this point. I'm thinking, actually, that I bring in the Negate over the Disdainful Strokes, because I think we didn't even see any Doom Whisperers, so this could be a budget list without them. And honestly, just the hand disruption alone is worse, I think, than the Doom Whisperer. Which we can kind of take care of with our Novas and our Stars. Any other changes I'd want to make here? Immortal Sun's cute, but I don't think it's worth bringing in. It's just another spell that is over on the top end. I mean, if you look at the curve. Oh dear. It's pretty high. Yeah, because you don't like having your hand eaten away at. This hand is pretty crap. It's only got a negate. I have to defend 2 cards that I don't really care about at this early stage. But yeah, also aggressively mulliganing as well to make sure that your combo stays in place is also one. So we play a land, they play a land. We play a land, we treasure map. They play a land, they Thought Erasure. Takes Invocation or Pirate's Pillage. We're fine with that. Lava Coil, I'm just going to bottom. I think we just want land drops. There's his Boneyard. So we'll get down our treasure map nice and early. It's card advantage when we want it as well, which works really well against Disinformation campaigns. Because they can't take a card when we've got 0 cards, but end step we can draw one, so we'll always have 2 cards in hand whenever we need one. There's a Discovery, okay. No turn 2 Thought Erasure is pretty good, and they just dump some lands. They must have plenty already in hand. Still don't want the Lava Coil. I think I'll rely on removal when the time comes. And that's a pretty good draw. That allows us to hold open the gate here. For either Disinformation Campaign, Thought Erasure, or the Night Veil Predator. I think I'll let the Night Veil Predator go, to be honest, but this, definitely not. I do not want repeatable discard, thank you very much. Okay, another Pirate's Pillage. I will take that. It's not amazing, we can't cast it right now, but if we do get to untap with it, if my opponent goes like Disinformation Campaign, I don't really mind. I think we really just want to see our counter spells at this stage. In fact, I should have tapped the Sacred Foundry. Star of Extinction, I'm going to bottom. We at least have a treasures, though, to make up for it. There's a Nexus of Fate. Okay, that's nice Pirate's Pillage fodder, I guess. But we will pass. I'm not going to crack a treasure and get countered at the same time. We just need to find our window now. Hopefully we can do that. Discovery, okay. This could be our window. He has 1 counter spell, so if we can bait out the 1 counter spell he probably has. That being said, though, they could have Negate and Spell Pierce. Star of Extinction. Does this cost us 2 treasures to end step Nexus? It's probably not worth doing. So this gets countered, but do I care if it gets countered? I could also, as I said, end step Nexus, which taps them out of their double blue. Allows us to drop an Invocation, but then they could just Dream Eater it, so it doesn't get us too far. I think I'd have to go for the Pirate's Pillage here. That's a really tough one, because I know this is going to get countered. Let's just do Pirate's Pillage. Pirate's Pillage, discard Pirate's Pillage. We'll keep that Nexus plan open. Yeah, there's the Sabotage. We also have our Treasure Cove here anyway, so we don't really mind about losing out the card draw here. I'm just more pleased about getting our counter out of our opponent's hand. So they pretty much usually only run 4 Sinister Sabotages and then board in a few more, so we shouldn't have to worry about too many. Wow, River's Rebuke. That's rude. Sure. We lose 2 tokens. Then we go land, Sunbirds. Can't defend it, but the only thing that they can do to it is River's Rebuke it or Dream Eater it. So at this stage I really don't mind. Mission Briefing for 5. Is this just going to be Discovery? Or have you got the land? I don't know if they've hit the land drop yet or not. A Sinister Sabotage. They didn't put anything in the graveyard either. How odd. Eldest Reborn. Yep, don't care. So we want to land off top. We whiff. Ouch. Okay. So now we have to discard. We're just going to discard Star of Extinction, I think. Could make an argument for Nexus of Fate since it does get shuffled back in. Okay. So our opponent gets nothing. Counter. And look at the top 3, see if we can hit a treasure map. Nice. That is some cool run-ins right there. I don't want them surveilling and bouncing things. They can get it back with the Eldest Reborn, that's fine. Yeah, let's just graveyard Squee. It's whatever. They get it back regardless, I suppose, so I don't know. Probably shouldn't have done that. It's fine, though. It's fine. Like, the card makers discard it, more than likely. They can bounce it, and then we'll negate. Yep. Thought Erasure. Negate. You have a counter? Nope. Now what? Also, upkeep stop. Tap land. Looks like they're gonna pass. Now, I don't think... Yes, we want to land. I don't think they have a counter spell here. Because if they had a counter spell, that Thought Erasure was going to take Invocation anyway and give them a Surveil. So I think I'm safe enough to actually drop the Invocation here again without much issue. Unless this is the greatest bamboozle of all time. Field of Ruins currently holding priority. So yeah, that questionable play looks like it's not going to bite me in the ass. It's probably a pretty bad play, honestly. But we got it anyway. I think this is a game over state. Because we go treasure map. Don't really care what this is. Sinister Sabotage at this stage doesn't matter because we're just going to chain Nexuses together. So I'm going to bottom it. And let's play Nexus now before we draw our card. Got a Spell Pierce. Alright. So it goes into our deck. We look at 7 cards. We'll probably just take an extra turn anyway. If they Field of Ruiners... Wow, okay. So they're going to Field of Ruiners, which allows me to search my library with Treasure Map in response to make sure that the card on top is pretty good. If it's a Nexus, we're all golden. It's a star, which I don't really care for, so I'm going to bottom it. And 7 cards. Let's have a look. There's a Nexus. Okay. So we take an extra turn. We have now got our Treasure Map online. Nexus of Fate in hand. Pirate's Pillage. Pretty good. Alright. So, pass the turn. They need another counter and for us to whiff again, which is probably highly unlikely. So, Nexus of Fate. And they've had enough. Alright. Yeah, I think we were just going to chain it together there. It's a little difficult with 1 Sunbirds to get it done, but once you start looping anyway, you end up finding your 2nd and 3rd and 4th Sunbirds regardless. Yeah, that Dream Eater play was probably incorrect in all forms, to be honest, now that I think about it, but yeah, whatever. Didn't end up beating us. Actually managed to take down Dimir Discard, which I think is one of the worst matchups for this deck. Just straight up, like, interacting with us in a way that just discards all of our cards. It's the last thing that we want, but I guess our main actual combo starter is Nexus of Fate, so discarding that doesn't really make too much difference, and putting it back into our deck also kind of helps in a sense, so it's a weird one. I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. If you did, then be sure to like, subscribe, hit that little bell icon, you know the drill. I'll see you all for the 3rd and final episode. Alright guys, see you in a bit.